Alright, let me ask you a question. Do you like Wolverine? Do you like old people? Then, boy, have I got the comic for you. Old Man Logan is the creation of all these fine people, published on July 26, 2016, with a respectable 128 pages. Written by Jeff Lemire, illustrated by Andrea Sorrentino, colored by Marcello Maiolo, lettered by Corey Petit, and was joined by the editing team of Christina Harrington, Daniel Ketchum, and Mark Panacea, or Panacea. The protagonist of this book is this naked old man right here, Logan, an old and very angry version of the beloved Wolverine. He's been sent back in time to before the villains and the Incredible Hulk take over the world and leave it in a state of apocalypse, and Logan believes that it's his duty to kill everyone involved before that happened. Hulk, most of all, but that's a more personal endeavor for the old man. Disclaimer, this isn't actually a graphic novel. It's a compilation that holds all the issues from the first part of the much larger Old Man Logan series and is just the first volume. For that reason, I can't really tell if Logan's arc is done. It definitely isn't, but we still get almost two character arcs from him in this one volume alone. We see the first arc in the present time, where Logan is on a bloodthirsty rampage trying to kill all villains responsible for the end of the world, and the hero that he meets along the way try to calm him down. The second is in the past, told to us through Logan's flashbacks to give us context on why he's being such a psychopath. That's almost a completely different story in terms of tone. That's the story of a passive family man who's willing to willing to sacrifice his own dignity just to keep the ones in charge from coming after him. He just wants to live peacefully despite having the strength to fight back, where in the present, fighting back is all he's doing. Despite being a compilation, the story is organized very well, even managing to have a comprehensive beginning, middle, and end, and even though that end is a major cliffhanger with plot threads still not tied up. The second act begins on page 18 when Logan wakes up ready to start killing villains, and the story doesn't slow down from there except for the occasional soul-crushingly sad flashback. The ending satisfied me, and I could leave it there for now and accept this first volume as just a short story, but I can see how others would be itching for more afterwards. Logan meeting up with his old teammates might just be too much to pass on, even though by the end he has accepted his new fate in the past. Unfortunately, because of its length, no side characters really get an arc. All of them kind of exist to bounce off of and improve Logan, and since Logan is the one who needs saving in this story, none of them change because they don't need it at this point. That didn't bother me for now, especially because I'm sure we get some side character development in later issues, and it's not really necessary in this one. With the comic being primarily action-oriented, most of the transitions in Old Man Logan are action to action. Entire pages will be dedicated to brawls between Logan and whoever he's fighting, with most of the page or the entire page being used to show somebody getting sliced up or thrown through a wall. The pacing is brutal in these fast moments, and every panel comes with its own impact as we're taken through the blow-by-blow of a superpowered brawl. It's a lot of fun to read, but that doesn't mean the story doesn't know when to slow down. Logan's flashbacks are often, despite what they're depicting, tranquil and slow, using moment to moments to make us feel as tired as Logan does, and it helps us feel the struggle he's going through without ever needing to tell us about it. It also makes the most gruesome parts of his past all the harder to read as the pacing suddenly picks up for the worst. In a good way, for the worst. Both parts of this book are phenomenal when it comes to pacing themselves out. Unfortunately, that's at the sacrifice of the page as a mini-comic idea. There are parts of Old Man Logan that are simply meant to be read in bulk and don't make sense without everything else. It works so well when you're blazing through the story at the action-packed pace it presents, but single pages often don't tell a full story. This is fixed in the flashback sequences, of course, because of how much slower the pacing is going, and almost every page in those instances is accompanied by a gut-punch moment to make us remember how much being Logan is suffering. At the same time, I often didn't realize I had read a dozen pages. The story moves so quickly at times that it turns 20 pages into 4 big pages, and the directional flow is phenomenal in that sense. The story highlights beats of action with a splash of red, blue, or another solid color that immediately catches your eye. Every gunshot, every slice, every blow is given more impact by this punch of contrast on the page. It allows you to follow the action fantastically. Easily one of the best ideas I've ever seen for drawing action, one I honestly wish I could see other comics doing in the future. It makes the action feel like it has so much more weight to it. It makes the sound effects all louder, and it makes sequences of events so much easier to follow. I'd recommend Old Man Logan to everyone, classmates, friends, family, my dog, my cats, everyone. It's excellent action packed with emotion, and as long as you don't mind a little gore and bloodshed, you'll love seeing Logan on the hunt. Especially if you're a fan of X-Men or Wolverine in general. Seeing this old, decrepit Logan with nothing to lose is heartbreaking, but also fantastic when it comes to those brutal fight scenes. Here's a fun fact though, despite saying that it's the first volume, Old Man Logan Berserker, which is the volume I read, is not actually the first volume. If you want to start from the true beginning, you're looking for Old Man Logan War Zones. And I still don't know how to end videos.